Evening, everybody. You're watching the first preseason 1 match of Community Clash, US side, that is. Now we have EU brethren, so we have tonight with us DA and BWC. They have landed here on the pad. I hope that Mark breaks out. You can see them. From BWC, we have Mr. Streetwise here. Where is Mr. Ender? There's Mr. Ender there. With me tonight, co-casting, is Luperza, for those of you who don't know her. Luperza from SOE.
Hello.
So we're going to do a quick interview with these guys. They're going to tell us all about who they are, so then they're going to go kill each other. So to start off, BWC Streetwise, tell us all about the BWC and then how you plan on smashing this dude right here.
Well, BWC is a veteran-founded and military-style online gaming group. Most of us are active-duty military or prior combat veterans. And we've been around for about 10 years now, just after 10 years, and we have well over 500 active members throughout our many gaming endeavors between PlanetSide 2 and some other groups. Our plan tonight is to use our strengths and combined arms and crush the Vanu heretics.
Nice, nice. All right, Luperza, why don't you, our Ender, why don't you kick us off? Tell us how you, as a great Vanu player, are planning on defeating this great TR brethren here.
Sure. I'm DA Ender. I run the outfit DasAnfall on Matheson VS. We've been around since about PS1 2004. We're about 74 strong or so. Kind of a smaller community, more tight-knit. Really try to do things together, and I guess we're just here to get rid of our TR overlords and get rid of this oppression.
Nice. All right, Mark, why don't you kick out to the map for us real quick? We're gonna kind of explain the Esamir lane. You guys have seen the Endar lane played through different matches for Season 1 and what the Endar lane is going to look like for Community Clash Season 1. So we're going to show you the Esamir lane tonight. So starting from the top of the Esamir lane, you see Not Amp Station. Not Amp Station is the starting home base for tonight, TR to begin with for the first half. The second half, it'll be flipped. The VS will start at Not Amp Station at the top. Coming down from there, you see Not Research Lab, another single-point base, or a single-point base. From there, you see Geological Survey Camp, another single-point base. This is a 6-point lane, 2 home bases, 4 single-point bases in between. Differing from the Endar lane, we don't have a middle base for them to start fighting over. They start the combat, their single-point bases decide, do you want to attack, do they want to hold back? They're going to kind of have to make that call when they start the lane out. So that being said, the VS side for the first half of the night, Frostfall Overlook is their first single-point base. That going on to Ymir Eastern Way Station, and then obviously into Ymir Biolab. For those of you that are concerned tonight, there is no tech plant for either one of these guys. There is no MBTs for any of the play going on tonight. That's the only way to make it fair for both halves. So tonight you'll see no MBTs, but all other vehicles are allowed. Both teams are allowed a Galaxy tonight to begin with, and they're going to pull them to their respective bases before they start. That's a temporary rule we're going to test out tonight. But aside from that, the rest of the rules are going to be at the ComClash website. PlanetSide Universe, you'll see a ComClash link there right at the beginning. So before anything else, Luperza, do you have anything to say before we kind of get this kicked off?
Oh, I'm excited. I've watched BWC play quite a few games in the past, and obviously DasAnfall as well, so I think it's going to be really fun.
I'm saying that all I can wait for is Ender crying at the end of the night when we get our post-interview. I want to see BWC just smash, just rolling through. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm preferential to Terrence. So, all right. Well, we're going to kick you guys off, let you guys get to your prospective bases, home bases, and Luperza and I are going to kind of get up, talk about the lane a little bit, and let you guys get to your thing. Best of luck to both of you. We'll kick you off via server broadcast here in probably about 5 minutes. See you guys then.
Thank you.
All right, Maggie, it's our time to shine. Let's get on this. Let's do some flying around and talk about what we think of this lane.
All right.
So like we said, starting off for the first half, we have the TR at the top at Not Amp coming down, and the VS starting at their home base at Ymir Bio at the bottom. So they're going to be coming that way. It's what do you think about this versus the Endar lane where we have that 3-point base in the middle that's kind of neutral, Maggie? You think it's going to be a great deal different combat?
You know, I haven't actually gotten to look at this lane in comparison to the other one because it's been kind of crazy over here at the SOE offices with EQNL. But I think that this will be, you know, really interesting because if you look at the way Amherst is set up, it's like, right now, pretty much they have like a straight road that takes them from not Amp Station to Ymir, whereas the other one there was a lot more open fields. It wasn't as like mountainous, I guess I could say.
Yeah, there was definitely a different terrain from coming from the top. You had that great deal different terrain coming from the tech plant above the bio lab at the other lane, and the 3-point base has gotten a lot of hate for the first lane for the season 1 matches. They say the 3-point base, there's a lot of people not liking it. So I'm interested to see what all the haters out there have to say about a single point base lane like this and how it's going to play out a great deal differently than Howling Pass. So we'll just have to see. For those of you that don't know, basically almost all the rules and everything else based on Community Clash was built by the community. Our rule sets, our point systems, everything else was decided on by the community. This is a totally community-driven event with a lot of help from SOE, so thank you for that, Luperza.
Yeah, hopefully we can get you guys some more help and you know, get this show to be a little bit easier on the community side so you're not relying so much on us. I think that'll be awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to it. For those of you that, like I said a second ago, the point system, so we have the home bases, as you'd seen before, and 4 single point bases in between. If a team takes a single point base, they then receive 2 points for that single point base take during the first 45-minute half. If they take someone's home base, they get 5 points, and the half ends right at that point. Obviously, the end of both halves, whoever has most points wins the match. That's kind of how it works. That's how it's going to work going into Season 1. After Season 1, we can talk more about where we're going to go from there. But this is, as I said, this is the second lane, Esamir. Our third lane for the season is on Amirish. Somewhat similar to the Endar lane. We have a 3-point base in the middle and a couple single-point team control bases outside of that.
Now, the place that I'm really excited, and I hope that there becomes quite a battle over here, is not research camp and geological survey camp. There's this bridge right in between, and this is kind of the only area that has like this smooth open area. Otherwise, everything else has, you know, a lot of mountains that you can kind of traverse through, other than if you take the road, which I think is going to be a little bit dangerous. Also, with the new rule set, I think it's going to be really interesting. I mean, no one's going to be able to pull main battle tanks, right?
Yeah, no MBTs tonight. It's going to be only lightning as far as tanks are concerned. With a harasser nerf, I'm interested to see if we see much harasser play, but a lot of people I've seen shying away from harassers lately. Some good drivers still stick with them if they have a good team, but not much. That being said, I think we're getting to the point where these guys are almost placed where they're supposed to be. This is one of those few lanes, and one of the reasons we picked it, obviously, is not only the distance, the equal distance from the warp gate, so they could pull galaxies to kind of supplement their movement, but this bridge is going to be a bitch to fight over. I've seen so many fights like this bottleneck of this bridge, and I'm interested to see if they even bother, if they're just going to try to totally bypass it and fly around it. And we'll see. So
yeah, we've actually seen, if you've watched any of the previous Community Clash episodes when we were trying to test things out as well, there has been some amazing air coordination, and I'm wondering how this is going to work with these guys. I mean, BWC, DasAnfall, they both have quite a few good pilots.
I know I've heard a lot about BWC pilots, and I also, from my understanding, DA just merged not too long ago with Crimea Reaver, I think. I hope that's correct. And they also picked up a lot of great pilots for that, and I think that's in preparation for competitive play. So I'm really interested to see those new pilots kind of emerge, since Endar was a very air-centric lane. I'm wondering if air is going to, with how open some of this terrain is versus the Endar lane, if it's going to be quite as air-centric. We'll have to see. I think, are your guys over there at the biolab ready to go, Luperza?
Do they need to be inside of the galaxy? Because right now they're just kind of hanging out near it.
They need to be right inside near the spawn point. They don't have to be right near the galaxy, but they have to be at least within the biolab.
Yeah, they all appear to be here. I don't think anyone's out of place, so we're good.
Go ahead and throw them a quick yell, tell them to get in the spawn room, and then you can kick it off via broadcast anytime you'd like.
I'm cheating. I'm going to use broadcast.
I saw it, yeah. I'm telling them to get rid of their ESFs. If they have ESFs pulled, tell them to get rid of them. Anything else, any other vehicles pulled, tell them to get rid of them. They need to get. The only thing they're allowed is one Galaxy pre. And as I said before, guys, that's kind of a test rule. We had talked to the competitive community, and due to the pulling of that delaying action for most of these matches, we're going to go ahead and let them have a Gal to start with close to their spawn rooms and see if that kind of works out better. If so, we're going to make an alteration to the rules. There, my guys are almost done forming up. How about DA?
I just want to make sure there's no one out of the spawns right now. Yep, it looks like everyone's ready to rock and roll.
1 second, I'm getting the last guy here. He's destroying his vehicle for me. Come on, buddy. Alright, he's in. Yeah, there he goes. Alright, let's give us a 20-second countdown, 20, a 10, a 5, and let's roll. Guys, we're going to have alert numbers and also other timers like built into these matches in the future. Some of this stuff isn't super pro right now. It's we're still kind of testing out the format, rules, etc. But we're just kind of having fun tonight. So enjoy. Most of the stuff's in place. Here we go. 20 seconds out. Oh man, BWC, I can see them. They're getting all riled up in this spawn room. They got some maxes. 10 seconds. Here they come. They're all pressing against the shield door. 5. Oh, there they go. All right, off they go. Rolling on to their Galaxy. They're all packing in. They're not even bothering with other vehicles, it looks like, from our side. What's going on over there?
They are splitting up.
Splitting up?
Yeah.
Oh, take that back. They're pulling ESFs as well. Here they go. They're off. Oh, they're crashing into each other on the way out.
Oh no, so it looks like we have quite a few sites that they're pulling. They're still utilizing their Galaxy, it appears, as well.
Okay.
Actually, maybe they won't be using the Galaxy at all.
They're ditching their ESFs at their first single point base. Looks like DA's rolling in with ESFs as well. Oh, and their battle ensues.
I'm going to follow these guys, but it looks like they're all grabbing ESFs at the moment.
Yeah, they're ditching them here, and they're having a kind of a quick little skirmish here on the 8 point of
Alright, we have
survey.
one Mossy that's just rushing into the middle of all these sites. I'm not sure what he's thinking here. He is able to get away, though. I think he's going to have to... Yeah, he totally abandoned his Mosquito. There's no way he's going to survive that. Although we are seeing quite a few BWC guys taking out some sites here.
Looks like DA got a foothold. They're at Geological Survey and they have the point ticket.
Vanu just taking down a couple more Mosquitoes here.
So
and
looks like
they still have some people on the way from the biolab. Not all of them are quite here yet.
So they're still pouring in their ESFs. They went the ESF kind of ditch route. I mean, we've seen that being a lot on the Indar lane, but it looks like it's still successful here on the Esamir lane as well.
Yeah, another Mossy had to bail out. He wasn't able to survive. These guys are not only pulling sites, they're also pulling some Liberators.
Oh, I am seeing some Liberator, some Shredder action coming down here on the point.
Looks like DA has taken the point. They are setting up around the area, kind of making sure that they have some people near it.
Looks like the TR are kind of going for strikers. They're smoking. They're smoking the point pretty heavily. I don't know if it's DA or BWC that's doing that, but there's smoke all over this point. And I'm zooming in on these guys' guns. They look like they're using HSMV. Sure enough, yeah, they're smoking it.
The smoke doesn't seem to be really affecting the DA guys. They're able to hold here. What you're seeing them do too is they're utilizing these like Araxium crystal things in order to cover themselves around these corners.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, sure enough, they're using that as good cover. I see there's 2 of them left on the point. BWC cleaned up a good chunk of them. They picked out their medics, smart play from their part, and looks like they have a couple heavy assaults still around. But the TR, they're investing very heavily in air. DA is. I see multiple Liberators here.
And the Vanu are able to get a Sunder in a location over here, so that should be able to help them get into the base a lot more quickly than they were able to previously, because they had to go all the way from their base that was nearby.
Wow. Alrighty, so it looks like, oh, they got they got a couple reinforcements on the DA side here now. They're all sitting all over the point.
Yeah, what I'm seeing from these guys is they are dedicating Alpha and Bravo squads to the A point to protect that. They're using Charlie to kind of wander around the area and protect the infantry that are holding the base, which I think is fantastic. And then the Delta squad seems to be, they're a little bit more of the harassment and outer edges and trying to keep everything around. I'm really liking this tactic from DA.
Looks like they're using their gal as kind of like a diversion for their spawn room. Looks like BWC's taking it too.
Yeah,
they're kind of hammering on their gal, and they're not really moving on the point, at least not at the moment. They're kind of trickling in a little bit at a time.
The Galaxy's still surviving. They're able to repair it. And he's not even taking it that far away. He's like literally right over the mountain over here. And this was something that I was saying at the beginning, was that this area is, there's lots of little mountains here and there and places to hide things, so unless you're taking the road, which is a straight road.
Yeah, it looks like DA has a pretty firm grip on this point. There's only 30 seconds left on the cap. I can't imagine the BWC's going to be able to push him off right this moment.
They're trying to make a push here. They got a couple maxes, light assault. Yeah, quite a few light assaults here that BWC is bringing in.
Sure enough,
but
yeah.
they're just not going to be able to. I mean, this is the thing. You have DA over here who's trying to hold the area, utilizing these crystals. But I'm going to say that, you know, BWC did have a few maxes that just kind of ran out in the open, which probably wasn't the best move for them. The ones that were using the corners were doing it a little bit more properly, in my opinion.
There goes a facility. That's 2 points to DA.
All right. And it looks like they're
there's
getting picked up by the Galaxy over here for the DA guys. I'm not sure if the Galaxy's going to survive. It is getting hit quite hard.
BWC's got a Skyguard sitting out here on the river, but they're fighting it off with the Sundy.
Yeah,
they
the
got
Sundy.
a
Sundy took it out.
Sundy. A Basilisk, man, that Basilisk got that buff, and people are just ripping with it now.
Another lightning down. Nice job. And it's not only this Sunday, but this lovely, lovely Liberator right over here is doing work as well.
The Lib has been just pounding them this entire match. It's really been abusing them. I think that's probably why they're pulling so many Skyguards out. But yeah, they have a Sunday coming in place. They're trying to get it on the outskirts of not research, and that Lib, it's still up. It's still fighting a good fight. But it's taking
so
some
their
hits.
Sunder is trying to make his way in here. I just don't think that they're going to be able to survive this. Oh, they're able to take down another lightning. I'm not sure if they're trying to get the Sunderer in an actual location or if they're just taking out all these lightnings.
They seem like they're trying to put it in this kind of spired location that's on the outskirts, but that seems very far of a walk for the actual base. I don't know if it's just
I don't know if
intended
that's
for
what
a
they're trying to
diversion.
do. I really think that they're just trying to repair this thing so that they can continue to kill these lightnings that are surrounding them. And it looks like one of the lightnings is able to take out their Liberator.
Yep, they dropped the Lib. Now they're surrounding the Sunday now with more lightnings. Oh, DA's coming in with a secondary Sunday. They're using the other one as a diversion to actually go into the rocks that's closer to the base. Now I see why they're trying to do that. Smart move. Oh, and they have a harasser here. They're trying to get around the back with another Sunday. They're all over the place. They have 3, 4, 5 Sundays.
Yeah, the thing to know here about not research camp is that you have all these large walls and these crystals and these rocks that are surrounding the base, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to find a perfect Sunday location.
Oh boy. So yeah,
they know exactly where they are, and they're just demolishing them here. They're bringing all 3 of their lightnings over here. They got BWC has quite a few infantry that are running up the side as well. I do not know if DA is going to be able to survive this. A few of them are already getting taken out.
Yeah, they just overwhelmed the repair Sunday and their backup
we have
Sunday
about
behind
4
it.
survivors left, and the Sunderer that's left. I don't know if they're going to be able to survive this. Looks like BWC has also brought their own Sunderer, so we have a Sunder versus Sunderer combat thing going on, and DA loses their Sunderer.
So it looks like they're making a lot of investment into an armor push. I'm wondering if they're going to try to go across that bridge again and kind of just take it by force. But what
They
I'm surprised,
have used quite a few resources already, though. I mean, we saw a lot of lightnings go down, but lightnings aren't as expensive, so maybe we'll see a whole army of them coming out.
looks like they got another Lib up on the DA side. I'm kind of honestly surprised that they're not trying to do a kind of a sneak drop on geological survey where this other one's not capped. Because they're not taking a flip for it yet. Oh, I take that back. They do have a couple guys on the point. I apologize. They have.
I'm coming back here to check out what DA is up to as well.
Yeah, even with those drops, they had some time to get a couple guys on point. Looks like BWC is just coming in to clear them out in force. They have a couple NG guns out. Yeah, they're just moving in force.
So what I'm seeing from DA here is that they're pulling another round of sights. They got
going air
another
again,
Liberator, and yeah. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I see nothing but sights coming in. They're swarming the skies. Interested to see
And
when
here they
move
come.
out.
They're almost to the base now.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much in the way of sky guards for their tank column. I don't know if this is going to go well for them.
Yeah, and this is the bridge fight that I was talking about. I mean, when I looked at I didn't get to look at it for that long, but when I was looking at the lane, I was like, I think this is where we're going to see the prime of the crop fight, is right here at this bridge, because it's such a major choke point, and it's one of the only open areas that you're seeing on this lane.
Looks like they're moving to Sunday into the same location they tried the first time. They have it set up and deployed now. Just a little bit to the southeast of the base here. Oh, lightning found it.
They have two lightnings right nearby it, but this lightning's going down. They're able to keep their Sunderer up. There's still a couple soldiers rushing in and trying to take it out as well. What's funny to me is this other lightning that's right nearby it is totally oblivious. I don't think he got the memo that there's a Sunderer right next to him. We have a Galaxy drop as well. And you're seeing these sites finding the spawn location right away and trying to camp it. One of the sites actually gets taken out. Another person just bails out of their site. It looks like they're just all bailing out of their sites at this point.
Sure enough, yeah, they're using that gal for suppression. Oh no, this is a straight drop and he's running. He's out of here. Yeah, he's gone. So they kind of bugged out once he got the extra drop. It looks like BWC still has the point retaken though, and it's fully retaken. They don't have it. Oh, there it goes.
But
DA's on
I'm gonna have to say that although this point is already taken, I mean, although they still had it, they only had one or two soldiers in here, so DA was able to easily just come in here, clear out that one or two guys, and look at, we're already seeing them cap the point already.
I continue to be surprised that they don't have that these teams aren't trying to use backdoor tactics, having one or two guys cloaked and just chilling, waiting on that point once they get their next one capped. Or I don't see
or
DA
some
using
C4.
any defense.
I'm not seeing any C4 that's being placed or anything like that, and utilizing any of those, or proxy mines.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much in the way of proxies used either. Looking
Well,
through, I'm looking all around these
Claymores for the TR here.
I don't see either honestly at the moment. I'm looking around this
Yeah,
room,
I haven't
but then again
seen,
they did just come in.
Yeah, that's really a good point. We haven't seen them set up major defenses. Like in some of these cases, in past community clashes, we've seen people put down NG turrets in doors, like holding these doors. We've seen Maxes sitting up there with NGs repairing them, and we're not really seeing that same setup. It looks like the way that DA is doing it, they're like, okay, let's just surround the area of A, where those opening points are, and just hold those choke points. It doesn't matter how you do it, just do it the best you possibly can.
Yeah, it looks like, man, it looks like looks like there's a lot of exchange going between these two doors of the opening to the point and the base right to the north of it. It's
yeah.
DA's got guys sitting on the roof. They're waiting for it. Yeah, they try to BWC tried to break out the max, and it got. Yeah, I think that's an S1. It looked like an S1. Yeah, he got S1 like immediately.
It's really interesting seeing this exchange between these two doors, actually.
Just round after round, just rolling through these doors. Look like, oh, BWC's got. Oh, it's actually shotties. I think that was a. Oh.
Yeah, so when I went over and looked at what BWC is doing, they got a Max sitting at that doorway, they've got an NG repairing it, they got a couple guys in there supporting them, and then the rest of them, I'm not really sure what they're doing exactly. In this room, we're seeing DA, you know, they got a couple guys on the point, they got a couple guys each guarding each of the doors. So I'm going to say that they're trying to cover these as much as possible. And it looks like they are setting up an engineer turret as well, and taking the top floor.
I'm kind of chuckling here because this is the third time we've seen this. DA is using this gal for suppression right on their spawn point. He's got a bulldog sitting right over the top of the spawn point, just hammering these guys while they're coming out, one after another. And I'm not even seeing them shooting back from the spawn point. They have angle on
And
them.
at this point, they don't even care. They're just sitting in the galaxy like Big Bertha, chilling on top of the building, and being like, "Whatever, hit me, bro."
They have. Let's see here. They have so they have that. They have. Oh, I see a lip battle going now. Oh no, those are all friendlies. Those are all DA. I do see one BWC lib trying to crash another. They're getting blown out of the air by another.
Ooh,
Oh,
it
they're
looks
having a
like DA
Dalton
is
fight.
getting a little curious too. You know, there's a few BWC guys in that other building across from the A point, and some of them are kind of peeking in there a little bit. It looks like one of them, the squad leader for Alpha, actually just went in there and totally took out all of their dudes in there.
So it looks like about 55 seconds left on this cap. So that'd be not research camp will be down, and then they're right up to their home base, not AM station. I haven't seen much fight. Then this is one of the traditional old AM stations we've seen, not one of the new design ones. So you have those two outside gens, and the traditional vehicle gens are outside this. I'm interested to see if they do the same air tactic, trying to get right in there and get those vehicle gens
Well,
down.
I mean, what I'm seeing from DA is they still have their air support here. While they're taking the other base, they are doing tons of suppression with their Liberator and their scythes. And, you know, BWC is trying their best to pull these mosquitoes and try to dogfight these guys, but I'm seeing them getting taken out left and right here. From your perspective, when you were looking at over what BWC is doing, are you seeing them do any, like, setting up defenses for the next base over here at Not Amp Station?
I'm seeing nothing. I'm seeing them investing. You know what? I was saying that. I was seeing most of their investment going into the research camp, but now I'm seeing some Sky Guards roll out. I'm trying to let's see here real quick. Yeah, it looks like mainly just a couple Sky Guards at the moment. I'm not seeing much in the way of mines or anything prepped for these gens. Everybody knows. I mean, these gens have to be priority 1 when they come in, so I would assume they'd be prepping them, but I'm not seeing any prep being done over either gen.
So now I'm curious. I think that they're pulling 2 Sunderers. I don't know if they're going to pull any more vehicles out here. I think they're going to try the 2 Sunderer route once again. It seems to have worked for them the last 2 bases. So they're, you know, I think one of their Sunderers is supposed to make it to the base. The other one is kind of used as distraction. So we'll see how this goes for them. They are bringing some Maxes with them, though.
So, take it easy on our cameraman, guys. It's just this Deringer. He's only by himself tonight. We don't have usually the 4 or 5 cams you normally have.
Oh! Dang!
He's going right in. Oh, beautiful! Look at that, guys.
Nicely
that is shield diffuser. That's diffuser at its best.
Yes. So we don't see this very often. It's such a smart tactic. Shield diffuser lets them get straight through the first gate, straight through into the amp station A point. They're able to just park themselves right here.
Oh,
Who cares if
they
it
got
blows
taken
up?
out.
They do not care. They have another Sunderer that already is doing work and spawning people in another location. And this Sunderer was a perfect distraction, not only to get them to the A point, but also make, you know, BWC kind of freak out a little bit and not pay attention to the other Sunderer that they have getting parked in there. Although BWC is rushing in, they have quite a few Maxes. They are just taking over A, clearing out all of the people that are here at the A point for DA.
You try to drop another one, and BWC's actually getting smart. They're dropping mines all over the front of this thing. But DA just got in here with a bunch of Maxes. Just came in this last.
Yep, like I said, they had another.
Yep,
they had another Sunderer. I guess they had the gauge shield diffuser on here as well. And like I said, they did have a bunch of Maxes in here. But I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hold this A point for that long without a clear spawn point that's nearby. And I'm not sure if they set up any squad beacons, because I'm not seeing any that are around the area as well.
that was a decisive turn. More like 3 gate diffuse sunnies in a row.
Yeah.
And I just see now they're all over this point. All over it.
All over the point. They're holding it as best as they can. It looks like, you know, BWC does have a lightning here. I think he might be stuck. He's going in between these things and he's not able to get out. It looks like they're bringing in a variety of soldiers here, BWC, as I'm seeing some Maxes, some medics, some light assault, a couple infiltrators.
Another gate diffuse sunny coming in.
They're just bringing them in like hot
Spamming them
potatoes.
in, one after another.
I mean, that's one way it's continued to work for them. You know what's boggling my mind is that BWC isn't taking advantage of this and noticing that they're doing this and setting up some tank mines.
You know, they had set up a couple. I saw an NG come through and set up a line of them. But when you have 4 of these rolling one after another, it's kind of hard to like get them prepped in time. They just keep coming.
Oh yeah, that's true. So they did. I'm trying to focus mainly on what DA is doing over here so that we can get both sides.
more like a dumbass. Like I was sitting here talking about, oh, they're gonna have to worry about these gens. They're not prepping the gens, and all you see is gate diffuse on these one after another just roll right through.
I mean, you don't need to take down the shields if you got gate diffuser.
Yeah, and the B part is obviously they had it ready and the tactic was there because they had enough time. It must be, I think you have to be at least rank 2 to break through both shields in the same run, even if you're full speed. So they had to be knowing this was a tactic ahead of time. It couldn't just be a last minute thing.
And you know, DA is doing their best to keep their medics up. The medics are trying to revive people as quickly as possible. They have engineers specifically working with these maxes, trying to hold the points. They are kind of wandering a bit and getting a little antsy. I have seen BWC pulling in maxes and pulling in heavy assaults, trying to demolish these maxes, and they might be able to clear this out. They've just dropped a bunch of smoke on the point as well.
Oh man, this is getting heated. Seems like they're pushing on one side.
Half of Alpha is down, and it looks like they might be getting revived. I'm not sure if BWC is going to make another push here. If they don't, I think that DA is going to be able to revive all of these guys.
Yeah, they were able to get them all back up. It looks like there's a handful down, but the majority of their people are back up now.
Oh man, their medics are doing work. This is something that I really want to say is the support classes, medics, you are amazing. Engineer, you are freaking awesome. It's, you know, like a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on some of the heavier, you know, infantry, like the heavy assault and the maxes, but really, engineers, medics, they can make a huge difference on the battlefield.
Oh man, DA. So DA is DasAnfall, by the way, guys. I know a couple of you guys are asking what DA is, but DA is DasAnfall.
And BWC is Black Widow Company. Correct. For those of you who didn't know. So I like how we said the opposite of who we're representing.
Yeah, I just saw DA in the chat. I'm glad that you covered that with BWC. I should have said that. So it looks like they're using a couple NG turrets. Oh, they gave up on that NG turret as far as they're not shooting across any longer. But they have all the
they're making a huge push here. They have BWC has 3 maxes. They have a bunch of engineers there, just pushing in here. These engineers are solely just repairing these guys and pushing in on the A point. Are they going to be able to do it? They're not really using the wall in the corners and these little consoles as well as they could. They're bunching up, which makes them super vulnerable to rockets and grenades. I don't know if they're going to be able to take this point.
Yeah, they got a couple res grenades incoming. Looks like
they keep pushing in like this, they might be able to. It looks like, you know, lots of people on DA are down already. We have Alpha's almost already taken out.
They used a lot of light assaults that time. BWC just suicide C4'd all over the top of that with those. They knew those maxes were there, and they dropped a bunch of light assaults to C4 over the top of them. It looks like they've cleared this. They've cleared this place out.
Oh, that was fantastic. I'm going to say fantastic play, BWC. Not only did you bring your light assaults to jump up on top of that bridge, get rid of all those people that are continually backing up, but you have these maxes that are coming up on the sides here with engineer support pushing in on the A point. Beautiful. Now I'm curious about how DA is going to go back at this. It looks like they might try to take these shields down. They already have a Sunder in place. And it's not even, they're not even hiding the Sunder at this point.
No. I think they feel like they have them they kind of have them on their heels. So they're just pushing at this point. They have their guys sitting here waiting. They have their
what I'm happy to see is that they're going straight back into it. Even though they lost the A point, they're just pushing back into it. I mean, something that I saw BWC earlier do is just kind of like, it looked like they freaked out a little bit and didn't know what to do for the next move. But I'm glad to see that huge push for them. That was great.
I love seeing the DA gal sitting on top of this tower out here, just using these bulldogs again, just hammering these guys. This has been a constant laugh for me the entire match, just watching this thing on top of these towers.
And I think that with the new changes that are coming in, with being able to spawn in a galaxy and in a Sunderer, that's going to be something you're going to see a lot more often. You're actually going to be seeing people using Sunderers and using galaxies to defend as well.
Oh boy, yeah. So it looks like BWC is using this time. They're pulling some Sundies into the main room. They're prepping tank mines. They're using this is kind of cracking me up. But you look at the shields now, Mark.
Yeah.
They're using these Sundies as door blockers, so they can't run these gate diffuses in anymore because they're blocking the doors with Sunders. That is a great idea.
No, that is fantastic. And not only that, but they have like some lightnings in there, giving some support, poking out a little bit. But what are they gonna do once those shields are down? They're not gonna be able to sit there forever.
That's the thing though. But it just cracks me up. They adapt to this, but it seems like they're a step behind. So DA's already outside. They're kind of working on the shields in the traditional sense. And they have about 1:15 till the last shield drops, and they're going to come in, shields or not. And it feels like BWC's is kind of a step behind. I wish they had those up, but this is what happens. People see these matches, they adapt. I will bet you next time we see this lane played, we will see a Sunday blocking those doors.
And again, I just want to make a huge note about how DA is using their soldiers. They are using Charlie Squad to kind of hold the gen, secure that area. They're not just sitting in the generator room. They're up on top, taking the high ground, watching to make sure that no one comes their way. And then you have Alpha that's just surrounding that area, supporting these guys. I mean, some of them are going to be taken out by this lightning, but they're able to demolish this lightning, no problem. And then we have Charlie and Delta that are also up in the air and in vehicles and helping support that way. And I think it's a fantastic way to kind of incorporate your whole platoon.
And so I'm seeing some kind of small skirmishes, 1v1s, 2v2s, sitting on the outskirts of these walls around these gens. Look like they're using. Oh, that's another lib.
I saw like a couple, Maxes and engineers up on top of these air pads, and I was like, oh, I wonder what their play is going to be here, because and then I just saw this Liberator come and demolish them.
Looks like so TR secure, but then there goes the shields. They just dropped. So we're about to see some chaos.
All right, let's see this chaos.
Oh, they're backing up. I wonder. I'm waiting for a DA push from somewhere. I'm looking around, waiting for something.
Well, there was a bunch of smoke that was just laid on their generator, so I'm not sure if DA is trying to check this out, make sure that it's clear.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the thing I want to note, that the way the amp station works is if you come over here, Deringer, and you look at the hole that comes up from the ground down in the tunnel, that takes you straight near where the generator is. Oh, yep, exactly what I thought. And look, we have a Max, a couple dudes that are coming following him, supporting him down here. They're pushing in on the generator. Are they going to be able to take it? The Max is coming in the back area of the room, which is great.
Looks like they're getting this gen up. Oh, they're getting there. They have enough support here.
No, it looks like
DA
has a bunch of other things that are set up here. They're able to continually keep it down.
So
you're looking at the other generator.
Yeah, I'm looking at the other gen. So they're pushing both simultaneously. They have the vertical gen up now. Yeah. So the vertical gen's up. They're at least able to hold on another 2 minutes, or a minute 30. So I think it's 2 minutes. I apologize.
And the vertical gen's going to be a bit more difficult for DA to take because it's not close to where their Sunderer is. But they're making a push. It looks like they have, I think this is Charlie, or Bravo Squad. Bravo Squad is coming in here. They're going to try to take this generator back. They have a couple guys in the back supporting them while the 3 of these guys go into the generator and try to take it back.
Looks like the couple Maxes and DA members that did get through are now cleaned up. BWC is securing the point. The vertical gen has been compromised, and DA's holding this pretty heavily, so I think they're going to try to... I haven't looked at the horizontal. Do we have much in the way of horizontal? Are they holding it secure, or are they kind of just leaving it alone?
I think that DA has both of them, no problem so far. I haven't seen any fight going on.
Yeah, they're kind of collapsing in on this vertical. Why they have a compromise. They have a couple Maxes, NG turret, medics. It's not that many though. It's only about 6 guys. I don't know if they're gonna BWC is gonna make a concerted push. Looks like they're coming out of the main room with a concerted push this time. A couple Maxes. That lib is still just doing work.
There's not just one lib. Their Delta Squad has 2 libs and a couple sites that are supporting them, and they're doing a fantastic job. They're like constantly coming back over to where the spawn room is and checking it out, making sure there's no soldiers. Although they kind of had to go back and repair right now, so it's pretty open. Something that I would say is if they took shifts, like had a Liberator and a Scythe hang out, and then another Liberator and a Scythe take over whenever they needed repairs, that would work a little bit better for them. Yeah. But right now, they just left it alone. So the support that they had going on is gone.
Now's the time for BWC to go to the warp gate, grab a couple Mozzies, have those guys fly at highest altitude, and eject seat right over the top of the next base while these guys are putting all their force on you at not am. But I'm not seeing them do
I think we might see another gate diffuser rush. They have 4 Sunderers that are sitting here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm seeing
Yeah,
them
and they
prepping
do
up
not
outside.
have AMS, so yeah, I think this is gate.
I
diffuser.
see the gate
5.
diffuser. It's on the front. You see it?
Yes,
it's right
yes,
there
yes.
on all of them.
Awesome. All right, let's see how this goes.
Oh boy. Oh, I can't wait. Here, Mark, come out here. Come here and watch this gate diffuse column come in here.
Yeah, they're not even caring about the generators right now. They are making a huge pushback in here. I'm kind of a little sad. I don't think I see any AMS
Sure enough, here they
which
go.
is not good.
They're just dropping. You can't. Oh, there they go. They're in.
And BWC is not prepared for this. They do not have any infantry at the point. I mean, they have 1 or 2 guys,
Oh,
but
they're
not very
all
many.
there. They're all over it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this A point is going to be taken. I don't know how long they're going to be able to hold it, though.
DA has. How many do they have left here? They got cleared up pretty quick. I want to say they have
They
maybe
have
half dozen guys.
Alpha Squad's still up. A couple people from Bravo are still up here. Looks like a third dude from Bravo is on his way.
Guys, by the way, this is a CC practice match. Luperza and I are kind of just having fun casting. We don't have our 5 cameras, our first-person cameras, any of that stuff. Our production stuff's on the fritz, so we're working on that before the season starts. That's why we do these test matches. So just so you're aware, this is not a norm.
All right, let us know, Torkz. What is BWC preparing for here? Are they going to take the tunnels down below? What are they up to? I'm seeing
Oh, man, I was
these
just
guys are
focusing
constantly
on-
trying to hold the point here, but they're getting pushed out. I don't know how long they're going to be able to stay here.
Yeah, I'm watching them from the spawn room. The DAs they're using their sunnies to great advantage against those walls to block them off. I don't see BWC really massing up though. They're kind of piecemealing out. I see a couple maxes being pulled. I see some anti-air being pulled. I think they're finally pissed off
Well,
about
I mean,
that
if you look
galaxy.
at the point down here, right near the spawn generator, they have a bunch of maxes, a ton of soldiers coming in from BWC. They're trying to push up these stairs, but they're continually going back into shield safety. I don't think they want to commit yet. Maybe they're still waiting for some guys.
It looks like BWC is using the tunnels, but I'm not seeing a massing. I'm just seeing them
they're
kind of
pushing
1 or 2 in.
There's a couple maxes, and they're pushing on A.
Oh, here comes the back piece.
All right,
Yeah,
BWC,
there you go.
are you going to pull off the same thing that you just did earlier? I'm seeing a ton of grenades being exchanged between both of them. I think that DA is going to possibly be taken out here.
Oh man, DA's still holding on the one side pretty solidly though. They
Yeah,
dropped the
yeah,
last max I
okay.
saw come in.
Nope, they're able to hold it. Nice. Now the thing is, are they going to be able to get everybody back up with their medics?
Oh man. Yeah,
Okay,
sure
their medics
enough.
are trying. One
All right.
TR.
Yeah,
just
DA's
went down
still
there,
holding.
got demolished.
BWC, they're massing up in the elevator area. That's weird. I've never seen. Oh, okay. I think the guy was confused. So DA's still holding the point, but they're not nearly as string. Oh, there they go. Res grenades out. They got most of their guys back up. So I want to say they have at least a dozen guys here, a dozen to 15. So that's a good chunk of their force. BWC's going to have to make a hell of a push. Here they come. All right, we have 3 maxes and a handful of heavies. Oh, Max is dead immediately. They had rockets ready for that Max immediately.
Yeah, and the thing that you're seeing here,
C4
right?
waiting for him. Watch this. Boom. The guy had the C4 prep waiting for that Max. He got another C4 prep waiting for the next Max. Max is down. DA is getting that C4 prep perfect.
Well, I mean, I think that they're learning. They're like, okay, their tactic is just keep pulling maxes, which, I mean, the thing to do is get some C4 set up there, get some proxies set up there before these guys can even get in there.
I love watch. All these heavies are sitting here with decimators. They're just waiting at these terminals as soon as they come across.
And they have some engineer support for ammo, so they're not going to run out of rockets. Oh, but we're seeing a huge push here from the left. My left.
They're using that engineer turret to great avail, though. Man, they're just tearing things apart with that engineer turret.
And then they have 1 lone max with no support. But I mean, there are a couple medics here, so we'll see what BWC is able to do.
Oh my goodness, they're having little one-off fights here and there at these stairs.
There's a light assault that just came up from behind them and was able to take out one of their engineers, but it looks like the medics are just on it.
Gate diffuse harasser by DA. Check that out.
Nice.
Oh man, they're loving gate diffuse tonight.
Something that I'm kind of sad about is that they aren't, when they did the Sunderer pushes and the Harasser pushes, they weren't utilizing the vehicles. You know, earlier they were using that Galaxy so well, and then when they pushed in here with all 4 of the Sunderers, I was expecting them to use those as part of their defense, but they didn't.
No, they kind of just ditched them. Yeah, they ditched them and headed for the top floor.
I was kind of amazed. I was like, really? You're just going to ditch them? You could keep 2 gunners in both of those things and, you know, help support your infantry.
You had a couple Bulldogs. You could suppress those doors at any given time. They ditched it, though, and I don't know. Maybe it was better off, maybe not. But BWC's got the point back. They have about 2 minutes, 40 seconds recap time. I'm not seeing much of an opportunity at this point for them to be able to back at the other side. And we're running up to our 45-minute half soon.
Charlie and Bravo squad are taking down the generators again. It looks like I'm seeing BWC pulling out a Sunder. I'm not sure. Is this an AMS Sunder? What is this? No, it's not an AMS Sunder.
Yeah, they're just pulling a couple. They're trying the door tact again. They're going to block off of the doors. They have a couple Furies sitting up on top of these. They're going to use the Furies to kind of hold it through.
Charlie wasn't able to take down the generator. They got kind of whomped by the BWC over here. I mean, again, like I noted, there's that hole that takes you up from the bottom, from the tunnels down there. So so BWC can easily get to that point, and they weren't really able to cover that quite as well.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing what cracks me up though is BWC must have missed what DA did last time because they didn't go through where they're blocking. They went through the other side and jumped over those spawn pads with their Sundies. It's not just the one door you can get through with that.
Yeah, they're just ramping up into there. They don't care.
Oh, here he goes though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 tank mines on that ramp. Oh, they know it's coming.
And meanwhile, BWC just wiped out all of Charlie's squad. Bravo squad. Bravo squad is no longer taking the generator. The generator is resecured.
Yeah, it looks like. I see a.
They're bringing in some more Sundies. I just don't know how well this is going to work because it seems like DA is a little bit not as organized as they were just, a little bit ago.
Where's the BWC? I see a platoon point. I see a platoon waypoint being set on not research. I'm wondering if they're going to try to get some drops on it. I don't know. I'm going to go back and look at their warp gate. I wonder if they're pulling from warp gate to veil that they're going to come in. I don't know.
Lots of interesting teasing going on here with these Sunderers. They're kind of coming up here around the spawn area and just camping. I don't know how this is going to work for them because BWC is already in there shooting at them and taking them out.
Oh man, I don't know.
I'm just going to take a look at my map and see what's happening over here. It looks like they're reforming at not research, so I'm going to go over there and just check it out really quick.
So the match is over in 5 minutes. Wow. And the half is over, I should say. 5 minutes.
It looks like they're recouping. At least Charlie and Bravo are. Alpha's waypoint is on this gate, so I think maybe they're planning on pushing through that gate. They still have the generator. Well, one of them.
So it looks like they're not really pushing on not research though. I'm not seeing. Like I said, I was expecting either maybe a couple Mozzies or something else, but I'm not seeing it.
But what I am seeing is that they're getting in these turrets. They're utilizing the turrets. A few of them are roaming around in some lightnings. But yeah, I'm not seeing any huge offensive push. I think that they're more on the defensive at this point.
I wonder if they're just trying to hold. They don't want to lose the last 5 points out of their home base. I'm wondering if that's what they're trying to do. I don't know.
So this lightning is getting a little ballsy. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this.
No, they're pegging him with size, and they have a couple.
He got out.
They have. They did. He did drop the one. So another lightning is a lightning versus lightning fight on the road.
Who will win this battle?
I think BWC's going to get this one. He's ramming him.
Oh, he's got just one. Oh my gosh! DA's lightning went down first though, so BWC won that little 1v1 there.
DA jumped out and C4'd him right after he got out.
Yeah, he got the vehicle, but he didn't get the kill. And that's a smart tactic. I mean, if you get low enough, jump out of your vehicle, C4 the dude if you have it, or rocket launcher him if you're heavy assault, you know?
Yeah, wreckage OP. Just let your wreckage do the work.
If you don't care about your resources that much, and these guys, they're, you know, they've been playing for so long, they're getting kills nonstop. I don't think they're resource starved. I mean, we're constantly seeing them pulling out vehicles.
Yeah, so DA's trying something different this time around. I don't know if they're running out, they're giving up on the gate defuse idea, but lightning's
they're
tons
doing
of
a lightning run. I think they might not have as many resources now because they pulled so many Sunderers.
They did. They had to be at least a Sunday per person, or
yeah,
not
and
a Sunday
I mean,
per every
you
other
need
person.
your med kits, you need your grenades, and those kind of things you want to spend your resources on a little bit more, you know?
Okay, so they have, I'm counting 6 lightnings, 7 lightnings here? I wonder if they're going to try to suppress
so
with this.
they're not really grouping up. They're basically putting a couple in various different points here. They're not grouping up here. And look at BWC. Like I said, though, they're all in these turrets. They're kind of prepared for this, so this might not be the best move for them. We do have a few bunching up here on the. What is this? This is the south gate. It's not really a gate. It's like a little opening here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to use these lightnings for suppression, but BWC is also pulling them. So this they're kind of just doing little 1v1 tank battles on the outside. Yeah, they're not really. It's not really much. They're not doing as much as I thought with them as they may have. But I'm not seeing BWC trying to go back and cap this either. I'm just really surprised that I guess they're totally bought on the defense at this point, like you had said.
Yeah, I mean that's what we've been seeing. We've just been seeing them sitting in these turrets, repairing these turrets, pulling out a few lightnings here and there. But most of their guys are in these turrets for BWC, and then on the DA side, I think there's only one lightning that's really supporting, you know, a point here, which is he's supporting the vertical generator, whereas the other ones are kind of just holding the gate and making sure that none of the BWC guys get out. Although I just saw one of the BWC tanks just took out one of the DA tanks. He took out the tank, but he wasn't able to take out the soldier. The soldier still got out. How are we looking on time?
Yeah, we only have a minute 30 left. I'm just kind of looking around trying to figure out what's going on, and it looks like it's kind of the fight's just kind of fiddling out. It's they're kind of realizing that they're running out of time. I think they have timers running too. Although BWC does have a Sunday now, I guess they're going to try to go. Oh, never mind. DA's about to just smash this Sunday. They have C4 all over it. Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah,
all right, well,
it got completely demolished. I'll get my end timer ready to go.
Yeah, they have minute out, so DA's realizing they're going into the defense as well now. So yeah, this half, I think everybody realizes this half is over, or coming to a quick end. Well, it was an interesting first half.
I'm surprised that I'm not seeing any like last minute epic pushes right now.
Yeah, I mean, they can't, honestly, you can't cap a base at this point. I think they both realize that. So, although I am seeing BWC line up some galaxies.
Okay, I'm seeing DA again. They are pulling some lightnings. Maybe they're going to pull a bunch of them. Not sure here yet. They have to be pulling a Sunder or something because they have a max.
All right, go ahead and call the 20-second mark because we're ending this half. I would say it's a decisive victory on DA's hand for the first half. That's 4-0 at the moment for those of you guys that don't already know. DA did take 2 bases during that half, 2 points for every single point base taken, so that's 4
Like
points.
I said, they pulled a Sunderer because they have. I think they're doing like a max crash. They're pulling a couple. Yeah, they have quite a few maxes here in the Sunderer, and they got some lightnings to help support the Sunderers. But I don't know what they're doing with them. They're kind of just running up this mountainside now. I think they realize it's 20 seconds left. It's not really worth it.
Yeah.
And plus, you see BWC over here with the Galaxy. I'm not certain what he plans to do with the Galaxy.
Alright, well, round is done. I think that's 20 seconds, right? Or definitely over.
Alright, we can round 1 complete.
I think we're going to grab Kid for halftime, Kid Riot. I don't that being so, break down the first half. Kid, you do this. You do casting every so often too. Why don't you break down what you saw since you were watching?
Well, I think that the thing that goes with these lanes, especially even if it comes down to the Howling Pass, is that it's all about speed. And DA knew that. Ender's a smart guy, and they were just able to be a lot faster on points than Black Widow Company. And like as you saw, there was never really any kind of infantry fighting until they got to the amp station, which is really curious because I mean, if you're able to get your force multipliers, like they were using the Battle Gal, Liberators, ESFs, you really don't need much infantry because you can't counter the air, in a very effective manner. And so DA knew this. And I mean, I gotta say, they're like the masters of cheese. And it's really curious because I'm not sure if they weren't able to take the amp station because it was just too tough to take an amp station against equal numbers, or if maybe DA kind of ran out of ideas. So I'm kind of curious about that.
Seemed like they really went in heavy with the gate diffuse idea, and when that, after the second time of that kind of failing, to that point they seemed like they were just kind of lost. They were pulling lightnings, kind of just jerking around. I don't know what the idea was.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I think they ran out of ideas towards the end. And the awesome thing about Gate Diffuser is that it looks cool and it gets you on point, but unless you have some really top-notch squad work, which maybe they might not have because it's a little different in competition, then eventually you just get overrun. I mean, you have to be really, really on the ball. I mean, you have to outplay your opponent like so high because they get the faster respawns.
I will say that they held out for quite a long time, and whenever they weren't able to revive some of the guys, they were just pulling in some more Sunderers with those guys in there. But like you said, maybe they could have put some squad beacons outside. They could have used one of those Sunderers out there to provide them with a spawn point to keep people pushing in. But
yeah, I don't know. I know you mentioned that the DA had a Charlie squad, so they probably split into 3 of 8 or something similar, is what I'm guessing.
yeah, so they split up quite interestingly. Let me show you their breakdown. For some reason, I'm not. Oh, they kicked me out of the squad.
Probably refund.
Oh, it's because I swapped factions to do all the things. But yeah, they had a breakdown, so it was like, it wasn't one full squad of 12 people. They split them up.
Yeah, and I think it'll be really interesting to see, because I don't know when the amp stations will be updated. If it was one of the new amp stations, if things might have gone differently, because the cap timers are they seem faster because of the 3 points.
It's definitely faster. I mean, it's 3 minutes. So I mean, you're going to fight a full extended cap time for this versus the newer ones versus their traditional amp stations. So I don't know, man. The problem, and that's the reason they changed those amp stations up, which you hear Malorn and Xander and them talking about that. It's just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing when it goes reverse. If DA kind of does a repeat of this and grabs the 2 single points, I can't imagine I know with the quick cap times of the bios, if you're going to see that same kind of thing over again, or if DA is just going to stop and then kind of just lock them in the spawn room.
Right, or if we'll see fighting at those middle bases, because those happened almost instantly. I don't think there was any time that BWC actually capped those bases back. They were pretty much backs up against the walls every time DA came in.
Yeah, the only thing that I saw any sort of infantry fight on, aside from the amp station, was at the geological survey. They had kind of that, I would say the first 45 seconds to a minute of that cap, there was an actual back and forth being gone on. As soon as that was kind of established and finished, I didn't see BWC even try to make even an established push till about the last 45 seconds, and I was kind of surprised they didn't come in and kind of just make a full 24-man push on that point.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that because you see those things, especially as a caster and observer, and you're like, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? And they're probably thinking all kinds of things, making all kinds of callouts, but it's just not effective. I mean, if you run into a room and 4 people are pointing guns at you, no matter what you do or say, if you're going down, that's probably what happened.
It's funny. I would love to hear. It's hindsight's 2020, but I would love to hear some of their comms during this on what they were thinking when they went out and when they pulled off. Obviously, DA went full air. They didn't even attempt ground. They dropped a lot of their skies, their sights right on top of the point, and then kind of pushed from there. BWC kind of had a mix. It seemed like. I'm wondering if they're going to rethink that for the second half.
Yeah, they could do 2 things. They could 3 things. 1, do the same thing, which is the same mistake. 2, go full defensive on the base and assume they're going to lose the forward one. Or go all out and try and race DA to the forward bases. One is riskier than the other, so I'm thinking they might just go full defensive on the base.
Most of the times I've seen DA play, they're obviously aggressive. You've seen that they went full aggressive the first time around. They didn't stay back to defend their own single point. They had a full size drop on geological survey. I'm wondering if they continue with that, BWC is going to take advantage of that. Have enough people to hold them off for 30 seconds and do it themselves on their other base. DA is known for being extremely aggressive, which has paid off in the past for him, but you can't get too predictable on that, or people can kind of pick you apart.
Right, or you could say, hey, why fix it if it ain't broke, right?
Yeah, sure enough. I mean, it does seem like obviously the aggressiveness is the best policy in this case. It has been for most of the practice matches we've seen. We haven't gotten to the season yet, but all the matches we've done, and I don't know, we've done 8, 9, 10 of them now. Most of the time, the aggressive outfits usually will come out on top, even if they don't hold any in reserve. So.
Yeah, you have to be super aggressive, especially with how fast these lanes could go through. I mean, I felt like we were at the amp station forever, and those first 3 bases happened like in a heartbeat.
It did feel that way. Go ahead.
I think that at that point they were like, man, we need to play defensively. We can't let them lose it, and they made some. I mean, BWC made some big pushes to try to take that. They seemed way more organized at Knot than they were at any of the other points.
Yeah, and I think the preseason, the beautiful thing about it is that these are scrimmages. It's not an official match, so there's a lot that can be learned from this by a lot of different outfits. I'm sure people will be taking a look at it later on to see what they can take out from it.
Yeah, I would hope to see, and like kind of said during the match, we saw things like Sundays being used as gate walls, because if you see a lot of use of gate diffuse Sundays, I'm wondering. Obviously, the DA can't use the same tactic the second time around because they'll be assaulting a biolab if they get to that point. I'm wondering if we see other teams kind of adapt that in and throw some Sundays up if we see a lot of gate diffusers, because you're obviously cutting out a 2-minute timer from both sides. Say if you hit them simultaneously, it's a valid tactic.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things like that that'll just evolve naturally over time. I mean, like even having somebody. The problem with 24s is you have to be able to fight outmanned, because if I could fight you 8 on 10, that means I could have 2 guys at the next base waiting for the cap, like you were pointing out. Why weren't they having guys there? So it's really, it just comes down to knowing the maps and getting practice in.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Esamir lane played. I've seen plenty of the Endar lane played. I'm interested even to see the Amrish lane played.
I'm really curious about the Amrish one, because by then we'll have Lattice maybe.
I think they're going to start. What Clegg said, start working on that February, maybe end of February. I don't know.
So about the time that you guys start, basically.
Yeah, be just around the time we start. We might have to change up that last lane union, depending on how altered that lattice is. Honestly, what I would like to see is the Ascent fought on. With everything I've seen of PTS, we might be changing that up to fight on the Ascent, because that is amazing base.
Yeah, it could be interesting too, especially with the galaxy changes. I mean, you'll still have mobility and you'll still have spawns. The biggest thing about the Ascent is if you get denied spawns, you're kind of screwed. But if you have galaxies being able to spawn people in, then you're fine. You keep rotating people in.
Yeah, and like you just brought up a really good point, and something we were talking about just outside the show before we started. With the Galaxy squad spawn changes going in, it's the whole meta behind a lot of this is going to change drastically. And it's all I can imagine. Because we saw DA all night long. We're using a Battle Gal, in short, for basically suppression reasons. If that Battle Gal turns into a spawn location, then it changes greatly with the kind of tide of battle.
I mean, I've been seeing that a lot lately, just in normal gameplay. When I'm playing on Connery, for instance, I always see the recursion guys. They're using those Sundays. They're using those galaxies for defense, for defense while they're on the offensive, capturing a base. And I think that that's something. And like we even noted, me and Torkz, when we were watching them at Knot, we're like, why, DA? Why didn't you keep your Sunderers? Why didn't you stay in them and use them as defense on that A point?
Yeah, that's really curious too, because I mean, if you even had one guy on a Fury in there, that brings a lot of suppression. I think they were worried about getting overextended and keeping all their guys together, because if you keep one guy in a Sunderer, if he dies, it's a permanent death.
Oh, you can't revive him. That's actually that's a perfect point, kid. And neither of us had even come up with that.
Yeah, I'm wondering though. We've seen in the past. You've seen people use those stairs. You can pull a Sunday. You can pull a Sunday if you're tricky about it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can still do it, but you can kind of pull it and position it somewhat of an angle away from the SCU gen, so they're not getting shots on straight from the shield. I really wonder if you had somebody in the number 2 slot with a bulldog, if you couldn't get some more suppression on those stairs. Like even if you just had one guy, even up to the point of it blowing up. I mean, you have plenty of warning most of the time, unless somebody's going to drop a crapload of C4 on you, but.
Yeah, and like I said, even you could see BWC. I mean, it was clearly in DA's favor, but BWC had some good calls. They were able to take the point back. They were rotating properly once they got to the amp station. I just think that the way DA was playing, maybe BWC isn't used to, especially when you have even numbers. I mean, if you die, that's like a 30-second spawn cycle. You have to wait 15 seconds to spawn. You have to wait 20 seconds to run back. So you lose basically a minute every time you take a permadeath. So that's why it's really risky.
Definitely, I mean, dying is much more drastic when you only have those guys. You know, you don't have any more soldiers that are going to come back you up. So you want to try to survive as long as you possibly can. And like I was saying before, those medics and those engineers, oh, they're like your anchors.
Yeah, and I know in Nuck we used to put our best shots, or some of the best shots on medic, because if those guys can stay up, then everybody else stays up, you know?
And they have assault rifles. I mean, they're freaking awesome.
Medic assault rifles are no joke in TR. That being said, it's funny. I think my favorite counter I saw almost all night was that LA Suicide LA drop right on top of DA backed up all of their maxes up right up to the verge of the bridge.
Oh, you're talking about the bridge? Oh yeah, you're talking about at A at not, right? That
talking about that AM station, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play. I mean, you know, DA was holding the A point. BWC brought some light assaults, took the bridge point, and meanwhile, while that was going on, they had some maxes and engineers and, you know, heavy assault and whatnot pushing up the staircases on the left and right over there. It was just beautiful. That was a beautiful play.
That was the first spark that I saw from BWC that showed that, hey, they have their backs up against the wall, but they're not going to give up. Because it is just a scrim, and really how you come out from the scrim shows a lot about your outfit and your leadership and your players, and that was a really good move.
I hope we see more of that coming into round 2.
Well, it'll be curious because, I mean, DA in a biolab, you don't want to fight DA in a biolab. That's their bread and butter.
I think it's everybody's farming area, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully that changes soon. Hopefully they change up the biolab build. I cannot wait for that.
They're supposed to take a look at it again. We'll see.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be, I think what he'd said, or what, I was talking to Clegg, he said that's the next one they're going to look at before the Tex plant. So hopefully that's true, and that they make a big change, because the biolab in its current form is not the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
are we going to bring in the 2 leaders to see what they think about the first round?
Post game, yeah. I told them we would give them halftime to talk strat with their own people, and we'll pull them in post.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. So I'm curious what was going through their heads when they were calling out certain things.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think we're almost done with the continent flip. It looks like you're almost done.
Almost. I'm getting there.
I know, it's got to be a pain.
But actually, from what I've seen between the Indar lane and the Esamir lane, I like the Esamir lane a lot more. It just seems more fluid. I mean, it's unfortunate that in this case they weren't able to fight too much on the bases, but those bases are awesome for infantry fights, man. If you could get some good fights there, I mean, you get some good leapfrogging, some good tug of war going between those bases. It makes for some exciting gameplay.
Yep.
So
I don't know, man.
Hopefully we see something a little different.
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in the second half. I just hope I don't see another biolab fight, and if I do, I hope that it's short. I would like to see, a base that doesn't get a lot of credit is Eastern Way, Esamir Eastern Way.
Oh, is that the one just outside of Emir?
Yeah, this is one of the best designed bases that's just simplistic in my mind, and I love fighting on it. I would actually like to see a good fight happen on it, and I really hope that we get to that point, even though that would kind of put BWC on their heels again, which I'd like to see kind of a comeback, but we'll see what happens.
I was actually able to cast a 48 versus 48 scrim there, imagine it, and it was between Band and somebody else. I think Jank, actually, Band and Jank, and they were fighting over that base. I likened it basically to like the movie 300. It's like a huge thermopylae. There's only 2 ways in, literally only 2 ways in. The jump pad or through like a thin, narrow tunnel that's on the south side of it. It's an insane base for defense.
That tunnel is actually really rough too, because you have air cover from the one end, but the other end is totally open. And when you're trying to actually get like a Sunday in that point, you're totally blanketly open from the biolab above as well. So it's rough, man. I've seen some fun fights in there though.
Yeah, that's easily my favorite base on this lane for sure. Especially after what I saw on the scrim. I mean, it's insane the kind of back and forth you can get on that base.
Alrighty, I think we're almost there. Looks like, well, it was good talking to you, Matt. Hopefully we can talk to you again, maybe post. We'll see how it goes on with the outfits. But take care, man.
All right,
thanks for talking.
Catch you guys later.
Later.
Yep.
All right, guys, that was Kid Riot from Nuck. He does a lot of casting as well. He does scrims and other things. Obviously has a lot of knowledge about the game. He's fun to talk to, good guy. So that was who we were talking to there. Looks like, Maggie, you got the continent set back up?
I think so. You
Okay,
tell me if something looks wrong.
I think we're good to go. I'm going to go find my guys. Why don't you go find your guys? Let's see what they have to say, get them, yell at them real quick, and make sure they're in place. Oh, my guys are on top of the ball. They're already in the spawn room. They're ready to go.
Yeah, I need a invite from the squad over there.
Okay, let me grab Ender real quick. All right, 20-second countdown. I'm gonna watch them roll through this. Oh, okay. I still don't understand their choice of where to put this gal. This gal is actually further away from the spawn room than the other side, but I'm assuming they have a reason for it. Here they go. Go, go, go. Okay, BWC is breaking out.
Oh my gosh, that was glorious! DasAnfall used the little portal things, and they went flying up to where the air terminal is. That was fantastic. It looked amazing. I wish we had that on camera because it was beautiful.
So I saw BWC.
All right, what we're seeing them do, they are pulling a ton of sites so far. They are taking their galaxy as well.
This is a lot of armor. They're literally pulling almost every one of their guys is going ground. Yeah, they're all going ground. Lightnings, tons and tons of lightnings.
We are full scythe action so far. I'm not sure if there's going to be any liberators in this, but I'm going to head out just so I can watch the initial fight here that's going to be exchanged between, I believe, a couple Mossies here and the scythes. One Mossie is down. There's still another one that they need to fight here, but they have to bow and they're able to completely take over this area at A.
DA's got their people on point. BWC also have their people on point. They both have people on the ground. But BWC is just rolling heavy armor. I wonder if this is going to work, because they have tons of sky guards.
BWC is using their galaxy to try to get these sites to attack them, and they're doing it.
I think they expected air, and they were ready for it. They have a crap load of sky guards.
Oh my gosh! Look, you weren't kidding! They have so many lightnings down here. This is beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I love this. DA flew in, they're like, oh no, screw this.
They knew. See, this is the thing, when you start to realize what these outfits are really strong in, you're gonna know how to counter them.
This lib is getting ripped apart. Goodbye.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna have to pull back quite a bit.
But DA's
their initial tactic is not working.
BWC's not putting people on point though. Come on, get people on point. There we go.
All right, yeah. They're starting to get on point here.
There's a fight going on here though.
They even have a forward Sunday that's up here. This is interesting, very interesting.
DA's smart though. They have to cut these doors covered perfectly. All the angles covered well. They have a medic and a heavy on each door. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they are holding this point. I mean, but one huge rush like that is just completely taking them out.
Oh yeah, they're clearing them. Okay, they're clear.
They have medics, they have heavy, they're just pushing in here and totally took out everybody on A. What is DA going to do about this? I am so happy BWC is coming back strong in round 2. Yes.
So BWC covers the area in armor. Tons of sky guards, pushes them out, and then pushes them out on the ground. I'm interested to see the counter stroke from DA, because they're gone with their air is gone at this point. I wonder if they're going to try to come and meet them armor to armor. Oh, I would love to see an armor fight.
So it looks like I think you might get your wish, except for this is very interesting. They're pulling a ton of Sunderers. No other vehicle support, just Sunderers.
Just Sunderers.
Yeah, just
I see one on the road.
They have two on the road, and they have 3 that are coming up here on the mountainside using these little like ditches to basically make their way to the base.
Yeah, they're having
to
pull back.
We have a 2v2 going on here. Actually, they just abandoned
Sky
this
Guard
guy.
versus Sunday.
Oh, and the Sunday's being so not smart. What we're seeing this Charlie
Sunday.
DA squad member do is he's just running away from this fight between this lightning and this other Sunderer, but he was showing his bum to them, which you all know your bum is very vulnerable. Do not do that. If you have to, back up.
I like that. It's good.
Do not just keep running away while they have, you know, your vulnerable spot there.
So DA's smart. They took the line of sight of this hill and they backed up a Sunday right below the line of sight. But BWC just keeps pulling more and more lightnings. I don't know if they're going to hold a defense, if they're going to try to hold a defense at Frostfall, because DA does have a Sunday at Frostfall, 2 Sundays at Frostfall. So DA is backcapping them. They know that they're going to move forward. They have 2 Sundays in place, and here they come.
And they're just continually rushing down this road, taking out Sunderers, taking out... I mean, what I'm seeing from DA is they're pulling out harassers so that they can be able to move quickly on the ground here, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do much with this. They did find the Sunderer. They are able to take it out. There's quite a few infantry. I just saw a DA harasser run over a couple infantry. That was humorous.
So
but I'm still seeing a few that are alive here.
Frostfall.
BWC's got some guys still here at
I'm sitting
the
back at
Geological
Frostfall,
Survey.
and they have like a dozen. They have like a dozen guys here. They're going to take this point back. DA knew what was going on.
Oh my gosh! So many BWC. They have like Sunderers, Lightnings, Galaxy coming in here over the Geological Survey.
They better take that point quick. They got it. They got it. Yes. DA's point. They can't do anything about the other base now.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And they don't even. I mean, BWC doesn't have that many guys on the actual point here. They are defending quite a bit around the area here, though.
Yeah, BWC,
with all these lightnings.
They can totally commit to this now. They can totally commit to this base. They don't have to worry about D anymore. They can just totally commit to holding now Geological Survey.
Yeah, and these two lightnings and the Sunder were able to take out a few DA vehicles, but it looks like DA was able to wipe them out. I don't know if these BWC soldiers that are here at the Geological Survey are going to live for much longer. They do have another Sunderer over to the, I believe this is the east, yes.
Looks like
the northeast, and no one has spotted it yet. So
yep.
I think, you know, we're going to start seeing quite a few soldiers pushing out of here and heading back to A.
So they're hacking. Oh, the BWC's getting started. So they're hacking the vehicle terms here at Geological Survey, and they're pulling Sundays. They're pulling their own Sundays out of their own base. Great, smart, good move, guys.
And DA is coming back here to Frostfall and trying to get back at this point. I don't know what they're going to be able to do here, though.
I think they're expecting to be able to take back Geological Survey with no opposition, but BWC is moving in on it. I don't know if they... Oh man, this is kind of one of those...
They still have their
Sunderer. This is a rough
Sunderer
situation.
up. The Sunderer up here is still pretty strong. No one has spotted it yet. Oh, just as I said that, it got spotted.
DA's making a good D on this A point. They will take it back. They will hold it to a full recap. And I wonder... Frostfall
With
out.
the Liberator action, they were able to take out their enemy Sunderer here. BWC Sunderer is down.
They have guys on Frostfall. Up. Sure enough, they took Frostfall already. So now the battle moves over to Frostfall.
Yes, we are back here. They have quite a few heavy assaults as well. They're trying to bombard the air. It looks like BWC was trying to pull some Liberators in here, but they're gonna have to run away for a little bit. Repair.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, so DA has a couple Sunderers in the area. They're going to try to defend A as well as they possibly can. I mean, the thing to note with this base here at Frostfall is that A is right next to the spawn. So as you're seeing here, they're easily able to get across here and go back to A.
Yeah, it looks like the defense is really getting heavy at Frostfall. BWC's committing they're committing everyone. They're not even bothering with trying an offensive at this point. They're committing everyone to wipe these guys off point. So they're pushing these 2 Sundays.
They spotted their Sunderer. They're pushing in on it.
So they got one of them. There's still one more DA Sunday up. BWC's all over it though.
DA's trying to defend this Sunderer the best they possibly can, though. They've only lost 1 guy so far. They've taken out about 3 or 4 soldiers here. I think that their medic's going to be... I mean, they also have a Sunderer right there. He can just respawn.
Yeah, the fight's all raging around this last Sunday. BWC is trying to push in up, but DA's just swarming out now. They're not they're committing everyone as well. They're full commit from both sides.
What's so interesting about this is that DA's Sunderer, I mean, if you look at the Sunderer location, you look at where this main building is that the BWC's holding. It's not the A point. They're actually holding in this other building and getting a good angle on these guys who are running from the Sunderer. But their Sunderer is in between Frostfall and the enemy base. So
just a tip to anybody else that plays this lane: you have a perfect line of sight to anything behind that that lane from the second floor right here on this 2-stack. That would have been a perfect place for them to lay down fire.
And DA comes in. They take A back.
Yep, they have it back entirely. Looks like they pushed them out. They have every point capping, and they've like probably about 6, 7, 8 guys in here. They're owning it.
They're not really setting up a perfect defense here. They're kind of all just running around in there. They have medics trying to just revive people left and right. I mean, the building that A is in is quite small. So these guys, Charlie squad actually, the DA guys that are up on top of that building are in a much better position. You want to get those high grounds, but you do have to watch out for this galaxy that's right above them, totally just taking them out and doing nothing but just chilling.
Oh, if only this galaxy was a spawn. If only this galaxy was a spawn point. You could just drop right behind them. You could sit over the top of their Sundies and just trash the Sundie.
Yeah, I think with that new change, we're going to see lots of crazy sustained fights. But even this right now is quite ridiculous. I don't know how long DA is going to keep this going. I'm trying to see if they're pulling in any other Sunderers or anything.
DA's pulling some of their people off point, but I don't know why. Are they trying to get? Are they trying to?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing.
Are they trying to get their people to the next point? Is that what's going on? They want to get a quick cap so they're not having to fight the next point? Let me take a look. Let's take a look. No, DA's not on the next point.
No, they have some people that basically recall to the warp gate. They're doing a push. I think they might do a galaxy drop. What is this?
Oh, okay. That makes sense. BWC's got to take this point back, or they're going to get that next point swarmed before they have any sort of time to prep. Yeah, they're not going to get much prep time unless they take Frostfall back. They're going to have to move on it quick.
So DA has brought in some more Liberators. That's going to help them contain these guys in the spawn room. We saw it work last time. You know, why not do it again?
Yeah, it's kind of a repeat of last time. They're using those libs for containment, but BWC's gotten smart this time. They have a couple burster maxes sitting here. They have a couple. They're putting darts at. Yeah, here comes the gal.
Oh, and here they're rushing out of the spawn room. We're seeing a pretty large push here from the BWC crew, but it ends up not really working. I don't know if they're going to be able to take A with this because they split up.
That really didn't seem like much of a push. They started.
They're pushing in on this.
Oh, yeah, there they go. Yeah,
they're taking both doors. Really nice.
It seems like they kind of stalled like halfway through, but then they kind of re-emerged, and there they go. They got the point back.
Yeah, and what I liked about that tactic, I mean, this building is really small, so if you get on the outsides of each of those doors and you push in all at the same time through all of those doors, the people inside are kind of like rushing around, and if they don't take a corner or try to get back behind you guys, they're not going to be able to really do that much. So what they did was exactly that, and they were able to completely wipe them out and take A back.
I am not seeing... Do you see anything going on DA side there, Luperza? I don't see any DA presence.
So what's happening with DA is they all respawned back at AMP. A couple people respawned at Geological Survey. They're pulling some Sunderers from Geological Survey. They are pulling a crap ton of sights and lightnings and pulling them down from Knot and making their way over here. Actually, a couple of them are just making their way to Geological Survey, and they are on their way to Frostfall.
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
And these Liberators are also helping support, and they're coming up right behind these sites, and we're seeing some lightnings pull in right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing... So see the armor push coming up. I'm not seeing a response. I wonder if BWC is going to try to pull armor to hold this.
So far we're seeing this Galaxy. I'm liking this work that they're doing with the Galaxy here. I mean, obviously it just got blown up, but for a while there, they were doing some interesting things with the Galaxy.
DA's used the Galaxy in a lot of ways. I wonder if they're prepping themselves for the Galaxy taking more of a role on the battlefield.
Well, I mean, I was actually talking about BWC right there, but yes, DA has been doing a fantastic job utilizing the... Oh, and we're seeing it come this way actually right now. The Galaxy is on its way to the point.
I don't see a drop yet. Come on.
It only has one guy in it, so I don't foresee him dropping. I think he's just here to kind of troll them.
Here comes the here comes the tank from the BWC side. Looks like primarily Sky Guards. I see one Viper. Yeah, it looks like primarily Sky Guards.
So what you're going to see from DA right now is they have a couple Sunders. They are placing them all around this base. They have one up in the mountain hills over here to the, I believe this is the northwest, and another to the west. They're pulling in all their lightnings down here, taking out these other lightnings that are trying to take out their air. I believe, once they take out these lightnings that are, basically anti-air support, because they have anti-armor tanks, the air can now come back into this fight, and they're not going to have any problems whatsoever. I do have to say that I do like what DA is doing with their aircraft. They are pulling them out when they know there's lots of anti-air and then bringing them back in. And they're not even just pulling out. They're pulling out and then they're also trying to find an area where they can still harass and help out in the fight.
Yeah, I think they're... Oh, their DA's back on the point. They have it. It looks like...
So what you saw right there and the reason why DA lost one of their lightnings too, so I don't know how well this is going to work for them.
I'm counting
or not lightnings,
5 maxes. 5 maxes. DA maxes on the point. I'm interested. Oh, EMC grenade. Or EMP grenade.
Yeah, I think that they're sick of getting locked in here. I personally am not a fan of sitting inside of this A building. I think that taking, these rocks around here, there's a couple rocks that provide enough cover where you can see the choke points of where these guys are coming down from their spawn point at, and also up around the spawn point up in the mountains up here where you're seeing actually these lightnings setting up, which is a very smart move, and I'm glad that they're doing that. But I was kind of hoping that they would do that early on, which we didn't see.
I am seeing some flanking from DA, so DA is using this this line of sight that's right in front of the front, or that's like 90-degree parallel to the front door of the A building, and BWC's not checking it when they come around, and I've seen the last 3 guys fall victim to this. It's been... Yeah, it's...
And what you're seeing too is these the BWC guys are rushing into this other building with a teleporter down here as well. Oh, and they're coming back up to A. I'm just wondering what their plan is here, because I don't see a huge rush of them. I'm just seeing like a small group slowly moving in here. And the lightnings only have so much of an angle, but they're able to do enough damage that by the time that the BWC soldiers get to A, they're pretty softened up from the AoE damage that these lightnings are doing.
Yeah, DA's holding this point. They're holding it well. They're back to they seem like they're experts at least at handling choke points. They know how to meet people to position on these doors. They have medics here. They have their maxes in the right places. They know once they breach a building where to be. So I can say that much for DA. They know their stuff as far as that's concerned.
Oh man, I'm really hoping BWC. I mean, what are they doing? Are you seeing them group up anywhere? I mean, I'm not seeing too many of them rushing out.
They're trickling, and this is the problem. You can't just trickle out on this.
Yeah, and not
Almost
only are they
gets you
trickling,
anywhere.
but I'm not seeing them using their cover as well as they possibly could. I mean, I just saw someone die out here kind of like in the open in the middle of these two, gates here instead of up on the side. Oh, here we go. They are pushing out. Let's see how this works.
Yeah,
We've seen it work a couple of times here. We've seen this fight happen 3 or 4 times.
Oh, they're not checking that line of sight. That Max is just tearing them apart from this angle over here.
Yeah, we see that we're actually seeing them utilize this rock, this wall back here. BWC is still alive and pushing in on this. I'm gonna check what's going on for DA inside here.
Oh my goodness, this is a massacre. It looks like DA is still holding the point. They don't have as many people inside the building as they had.
I think they're getting smart and they're realizing that when they're doing these pushes, it's just better just to get out of the building and then throw grenades into the building where all the enemy are at,
Yeah. BWC finally picked off that one max. It was just ripping apart.
They're getting pushed back into this A building, which is not, again, like I said, it's not the best move for them. I'm seeing a BWC max and a couple soldiers coming up behind them. I don't know what they're going to be able to do here. It's a max versus max.
They got cleaned out.
Dominated.
So I'm seeing, so BWC is at least intelligent. They're using these decimators intelligently. They're dropping them through the doors or catching a max or two, and then they're dropping back. But DA's not letting them continue that. They're just pulling outside the doors. They're medics and they're clearing them off. So
yeah, they're getting much smarter about this building for sure. They're not all grouping up. They're getting out. They're kind of flanking BWC as they're trying to push into this base, and they're able to capture it. No problem. Frostfall Overlook is now in the hands of the Vanu Sovereignty. Good job, DA, aka DasAnfall.
6-0 for the DA versus BWC. 6 points for DA, 0 for BWC currently. The we have 15 minutes, round about 14 minutes left in play. So I'm interested to see. I finally get to see the fight on the base I was talking about, Ymir Eastern Way. This is a great base to watch a fight on. I cannot wait.
And, you know, DA is already on their way. They already have a Sunderer in place. They have Lightning supporting it. They have some Liberators up in the air, and they are ready to rock and roll. I think that they're pushing up here. They're on their way over this, over on the road. But I am seeing BWC, they're kind of setting up around here. They're getting up on the high ground. They're getting these, like, mountainsides over here. I'm not sure really what their plan is.
Lots of Burster Maxes. That's their plan. I'm seeing Burster Max after Burster Max rolling
and
out,
heavies.
So.
I'm seeing heavies with rocket launchers, too.
I think they're expecting an air push. And I'm thinking they might get their wish.
They found one of the Sunderers. We
Sunderer's
saw
gone.
a lightning and a bunch of soldiers take that out. There's still a max alive from the DA soldiers over here.
You know, I have to say, BWC, tonight, one thing I have seen from them they've been very efficient at is their Sunderer hunting ability. They immediately check the proximity of the base, and the Sunders are down like that. So I have to commend them for that. They've done a great job.
I mean, the major thing that I've seen a problem is that they send too many people into one area. Like, we just saw about, like, 10 soldiers over there, which is like, okay, if there's 10 soldiers over there, then you don't have those guys spread out amongst your base here. I mean, if that's what you're going for defense.
Yeah, it seems like they're just kind of, they're accepting a defense. They're not trying to do a counterattack. They're not prepping their guys for like a drop on the space.
They did prep. I saw a lot of guys coming up over the mountains here, ready to see all these you know, vehicles and whatnot come over here. They were taking out Sunderers. They had already had lightning set up. So they were, give BWC some credit here. They were setting up. They had some maxes pulled right away. So I mean, I'm seeing a Burster Max right here on top of the building.
They just cleared out another Sunday. Yeah, they're doing great clearing out DA Sundays. DA does have, oh no, I take that back, they don't. They cleared that one as well. So no Sundays on no base yet.
Man, these guys are nuts. They're ready. I mean, they're going to make a huge push here, as you're seeing right now.
They're on the point. DA's on the point. I don't know how, but they're on the point.
They're taking it. I mean, they did this huge max crash. I just saw these guys. I was like, oh man, this is going to be insane.
Oh, I see the angle they came from. Okay, so they had a max crash that came from that side.
Yeah.
They got 3 maxes on point. Yeah, 3 maxes. Oh, here comes BWC.
They have a max, a light assault soldier that's right up on top. That's a great location for light assault. Look at that light assault soldier on top of that thing. That is where you need to be. That's a fantastic position for you.
BWC reclaims their house.
Yeah, they got it back. They pushed in. No problemo at all. I think, you know, the major thing that I'm going to say DA didn't do well right there is, sure, they did a max crash. They were able to take the point. They must have had some soldiers there that weren't maxes, because if you don't know, you can't use a max to capture a point. It has to be a non-max soldier. So I'm just wondering what happened to their support. Where were their engineers? Where were their medics?
And you know, I'm kind of thinking, we kind of agreed on this because we don't have the BR levels up on these guys yet, but what I would give to see somebody drop off and drop a squad beacon at one of these points and drop all their guys right back on. That's gonna, I'm really interested to see once that starts.
I want to give you like a little tip here that's happening. So at the biolab at Ymir, they are already sending Charlie and Bravo to
I see it.
Ymir biolab. They are going up these terminals, pushing up onto the air pad, and they're pushing into Ymir biolab. Meanwhile, they're still sending some of their soldiers over to Ymir East Way, but they are, you know, they're trying to put the pressure on up front. I don't know how well that's going to work for them.
I wonder what the idea behind this is, because if they don't, are they planning on prepping the entire biolab, then going back and taking care of Ymir Eastern Way? That doesn't seem very efficient.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is there.
I'm sure it'll unfold as we watch. Because right now I'm confused, I'll admit, because it's not... Prepping the biolab doesn't do you much good if you're not going to take Eastern Way.
This BWC Lightning is a little crazy. He is cray-cray. He's like in the middle here, trying to take out these 2 enemy Sundies and a bunch of sites, like, and he's still alive. I have no idea how he's still alive. Are they just trolling him now and letting him sit there in this ditch?
I don't know.
Oh, it's just the vehicle. They must have gotten the guy when he got out.
Sure enough, yeah. They're
pushing on A right now.
Yeah, they're on point. They have, no, they have about a dozen guys here. A little bit less,
yeah.
But oh,
they sent
BWC's
their whole Alpha squad as well as part of their Charlie squad or part of their Bravo squad here.
So it looks like BWC is primarily wrapped up in Eastern Way. They do have a handful of guys that are staying up at the biolab, counting at about 6, but they're primarily committed to Eastern Way. I'm not sure whether they're going to make a push here soon or not, but I'm not seeing them here.
I just wanna say that I'm impressed that DA already has Thunders set up around Ymir Biolab already. Like, they are ready to rock. They're like, once we get this out of the way in 3 minutes, we're pushing in on their base, no problem. I mean, this base, this Eastern Waypoint, is also, if you look over here to the bottom corner, you're gonna see that they have a teleporter, so they'll be able to teleport right there in there, as well as also teleporting in, or not teleporting in, but using those Thunders that they already have set up. And they're getting serious about this. They've already got some lightnings coming up around the corner here, trying to watch these guys. I mean, it's a little bit difficult to bring in vehicles on this base, just because it is very, blocked in. You don't, you're not really going to be able to bring your lightning inside to where the spawn point is.
You don't really get much in the vehicles in this base. That's one of the reasons I love it so much. You can't camp.
I wouldn't say vehicles. I would say that, DA is very strong in the air. I'm surprised that they didn't bring more air to this actual base right here, because they can't really get their tanks in here.
Yeah, after that first push against BWC where they had all those sky guards up, I haven't seen much in the way of air. I've seen a gal, and they had a couple one-off slice, but primarily they've been pushing ground along with BWC.
I mean, I'm looking at these BWC guys. There's a group of about 3 guys working together with rocket launchers, because they know if you work together, if 4 or 3 guys, are plummeting your lightning with a rocket launcher, you're gonna go down. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're running with these little groups of 3 or 4 guys, completely taking out these DA lightnings. And now they're going to be pushing on A.
Yeah, there's a fight going on over this A point again now. BWC's backing up, making a concerted effort.
They're pretty much pushing in on A. I think they're going to get this. They're going to be able to re-secure it. They have a minute 30 to re-secure this. But it looks like DA is still holding strong. They still have quite a few guys here in the A point. I'm loving these Maxes, or especially this Max over here in the corner. He's barely alive, but he's sitting in the corner there.
Oh man!
And I mean, these medics need to okay, now they're starting to.
They're definitely pushing heavy medic, and the Sin, she's not coming over for a rep. I'm not well, maybe there's a strap beyond that, but I'm not seeing a push from DWC again either. And there goes DA. You said something about DA air, and here they come. So we have a Lib and a Scythe kind of hovering over the top of this base now. It's suppressing.
That's exactly what they need. I mean, you know exactly where they're spawning. They're not going to be able to get out of there if you have air. I mean, you do have to be careful with anti-air, but if you have some soldiers helping also suppress and get up on these buildings and get some high points and kind of securing that area around, I mean, you'll be able to suppress them within that base, no problem. But they're not really doing that. They're kind of sticking to A, sitting inside the A building. Again, this is one of those small buildings with 4 doors, you can't just sit inside of there when people are constantly running at you. It's working for DA, fortunately for them.
Yeah, 20 seconds out, they're going to take Eastern Way, but there's not going to be much of a bio fight. We're about 5 minutes out to the end of this half, so we'll see what happens.
Are you seeing BWC doing any setting up in the biolab?
Yeah, they're
They're
prepping.
putting down any mines or
They're not
C4.
jumping down anymore. They were jumping down for the longest time, but now they're prepping anti-air up on the pads. It looks like they're kind of spreading their guys out. I see Bravo all over the place. I don't see any specific places they're kind of choking yet, but they're kind of just spreading out generally in the biolab at this point.
All right, well, I have Charlie squad already, like I said, they already have a Sunderer in location. They're ready to go. There's already Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. They're all pushing into the base here. They're all teleporting, flying up to the air pad here and making their way into the building, no problem.
So DA took Eastern Way. That was a lot shorter than I expected, but that's an 8-0 for DA at the moment. Let's see here. So they're generally
so they're pushing in.
Yeah, they didn't even. You know what? I'm kind of disappointed. BWC didn't make a fight at the air pad. Usually that's a pretty good place to choke.
Yeah,
I didn't see much of a fight there.
You know that they're going to come through the, like, basically, you have this biodome that only has 2 openings. Like, you can set up, you can get those guys ready to rock and roll. They didn't even have that. I mean, they had a couple guys up here. I mean, if you look at I believe this is the...
You know what? I take that back.
They
have guys shooting down on this
That's what I'm saying.
Pad.
They're shooting down from the air pad up at the top here, but they don't have any support down at the bottom. They don't have any maxes, you know, like people tanking for them quite a bit down at the bottom.
So it looks like 2 points under contention right now.
Yes, we have B and A being capped. Oh, B not successful. Looks like just A. B was able to be resecured.
I'm wondering, yeah, they do have the foothold here at least, and they're covering small stair. A couple guys in small stair, and they're setting up NG turrets on big stair. So they know what they're doing. They're firmly entrenched here now on A.
They have some engineers, yeah. DA has engineers set up here.
Yeah, they're using that as a good jump-off point. They know what they're doing. BWC's moving in on them. They're making sure they don't get this gen, but DA is just... Oh, they're just tearing them apart from the small stair. They keep coming in on the small stair, and they're just ripping them up as they come in.
I'm going to have to say, though, BWC is trying to put pressure on multiple doors. They're trying their best. But something that I'm noticing that DA is doing is they have these light assaults that are all up on top of these buildings. Something that is fantastic within the biolab is utilizing the high ground. You have this tree that, you know, like no one really expects you to be in. You can kind of shoot from there. You have all these buildings that you can be on top of. And they're going to be able to take C as well.
Yeah, it looks like we lost our feed. He got a crash, but he'll be back shortly. Or his game crashed, actually. His client crashed, it looks like, but he'll be right back. So BWC, while you guys are watching, and he's getting back in, BWC is pushing in heavily. DA is getting pushed back on this point. They're still holding small stairs with the max. Large stair with a couple NG turrets, but they're getting some pressure.
I mean, BWC is BWC is getting, they at least have a medic down there reviving them and helping them out, so. I can't really say much for the DA guys, you know, they're just holding and defending, doing work.
Being stable. They're stabilizing this point.
I'm loving this light assault troll. Basically, this light assault, he's, you know, getting up on the high ground, he's capping A, and then he's watching the guys coming to defend A, and he's just killing them as they're coming and defending A. He's like, oh, you're gonna go try to get A, or try to get C, try to get C back? I'm gonna come and take that from you. He did just get taken out, but he was kind of doing that back and forth for a while there, and it was kind of cracking me up.
So we got about a minute left in the match. Let's get a countdown. I'll give you a countdown here, but there's about 20 seconds left.
All right. Yeah, let me know, and I'll pop that in there.
Yeah, it looks like DA has folded back in on the point entirely because BWC had a crash. Oh, they're still crashing, in fact. And they're wiped. Oh, they did well, though. They got him behind them that time. They didn't push the stairs. They pushed across the bridges.
The gen is going down, it looks like. They don't really have that much support around the gen. They're still holding the top floor there instead.
Yeah, it looks like they pretty much cleared out the points. They have the biolab pretty open, pretty down handily. So the match is over in 20 seconds. If you want to go ahead and kick that off, we're done. Guys, this is it was 8-0 on DA side, so congrats DA on this fun little scrim, this little test match. It was a fun watch. I'm sorry the production quality wasn't what we're used to having for the show. We have some production issues there, so we'll fix that. We'll see you guys next Wednesday for another preseason match. So we're gonna pull these outfit leads back into a quick post-show interview, see what they have to say about tonight's match. By the way, guys, for those of you who don't know, they're first time tuning in, this is a 24v24 matchups. It's called Community Clash. We do this, we're doing kind of preseason matches now. We will be doing Season 1 on PlanetSide 2 Twitch. You'll be seeing 2 casters, same setup as kind of what we have now, but you'll be having 5 different cameras, 3 primary cameras, 2 first-person cameras that the production crew will switch between. So.
Oh man, that last fight was kind of crazy. There was this huge push on B, and then C was just a massive fight. Oh gosh. I mean, we knew who was winning because you were already, you know, basically saying it was over, but just nuts.
It was a good match still. I enjoyed watching it. That being said, guys, if you want to participate or anything like that, get into us up. It's at PS2 ComClash on Twitter, or at PS2 or PS2ComClash@gmail.com if you want to get a hold of us. You know, it's
do you know the actual score so I can toss that in the broadcast here?
8-0 for DA. So I'm gonna grab Ender. I'm gonna grab Streetwise, and we're gonna have a little chat, a little post-game chat. What's going on, gentlemen? I'm sure they're talking their outfits. They'll be back here in a second.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, Streetwise?
Holy man.
You guys have fun?
Nuts.
Oh yeah, that was a
fun.
blast.
Seemed like you guys were doing a lot of. It was interesting watching that fight on Overlook for a while there. That was an interesting back and forth. You guys were trying to trade between it and the research lab, or the geological survey.
Oh yeah, it's such a hard base to get a Sunder around to because it's so far raised. Like you have to go all the way around to the back.
So what did you guys think about tonight? Why don't we start out Streetwise? What did you think about your guys' play, and what you thought about just generally? Did you have fun?
Yeah, we had a blast. Some of the best fighting we get is when we're fighting DA on Matherson. It's always a good time. Anytime y'all show up, we try and get our game faces on and try and knuckle down and try and work. But yeah, always a good time fighting with you guys. So our work tonight, we got a little sloppy. There were some instances where we could have done some things better. Reaction time was a big one for us. We're just trying to get this team started here. So. But no, our work was fine. We've got some things to work on, and we know what we're going to try next time. So.
Alrighty. What about you, Ender? What are your thoughts?
That was really fun. We definitely learned a bunch of stuff too, especially the second round. We thought about switching up the strategy a little bit with the Sice because we kind of figured maybe you'd be onto it, and then we were like, nah, we'll just pull him anyways. Sure enough, the Skyguards just wrecked us right off the bat.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were laughing. I was like, here they come to Sice. Oh, that's a lot of Skyguards.
Yeah, so I think that first fight lasted a long time. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was the best part. That tank column against your air column there at Crossfall at Geo Survey. That was fun.
I was just trying to keep my my comms somewhat clear. I've had so many different inputs coming in.
Oh yeah, a lot of people telling what's going on.
Yeah, we were wondering what your guys' comms must have been like.
It's pretty crazy. We had comms channels up between all 24 of us through Channel Commander, through TeamSpeak, and we ended up having to turn that off halfway through the second round there. Just things got a little hectic, so.
I was interested to see the first time I think I've ever seen Sunders used as a door blocker for the amp station. I don't think I've ever seen that before, and I was kind of interested in that. So
I saw that on the map there towards the end.
Yeah, we were having some issues with those tank mines, but everything else was going pretty well there. That not amp station defense was pretty slick.
Yeah, it was.
Those maxes you had stuck in on point. That was some good stuff there by DA.
And I had Bonnick screaming in one ear, and it's like, no, the C4s are coming up underneath us. Are the light assaults with C4? That's what really got us. You guys got up over the bridge and got our medics down pretty quick.
Yeah,
our
I have
light
to say,
assault
like,
was really
our
solid.
favorite battle. Well, I mean, one of my favorite moments of that night was not amp station when you guys were over there, and like DA was holding that point, trying to hold it for the longest time, and your light assault came up, C4'd that bridge, and then you also had Max coming up both staircases on both sides, and you pushed in there. I was like, yes, come back into the fight. It was great. That was a fantastic
that was really
play.
coordinated. It was a really good job on your guys. I know there was 3 times I got res 3 times in a row, and I pretty much died immediately upon each res from another light assault with C4.
And I mean, on DA's side, I gotta say, one of my favorite things watching you guys was that your Alpha and Bravo squad were kind of like your infantry. Like, they were always in the fight. I mean, Alpha was usually at the point, Bravo was kind of helping them, Charlie was like, you know, in other vehicles helping surround that. It was like this layer. It was like an onion. It was awesome. And then you had Delta in the air supporting with air, you know, like sights and liberators. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we scrimmed Future Crew not too long ago, and we learned that we could not all stay in the same channel. That wasn't going to work. So for tonight, we kind of had Alpha was kind of our heavy hitters. Bravo was supposed to kind of be like just holding points or locking it down as Alpha kind of roamed around. Charlie was exactly what you said, supposed to bring AMSs up and maybe provide some vehicle support, and Delta was obviously our air squad.
I will say that towards the end there, it got a little messy.
It did.
Like they were all kind of like, I was like, oh, they're not really doing the roles that they were doing before.
Yeah, we well, and then towards the end, I think we were just starting to run out of resources a little bit too. Your Skyguards kept taking down.
Yeah, that was our plan there. Try and get your air resources knocked out so we could push back out. But those halves seemed a lot shorter when we they seemed longer when we were talking about the 45 minutes, but they seem really short when you're actually fighting it.
Yeah, they really did.
I was thinking that I looked down at the timer. It's usually like 10 minutes left. I'm like, crap, we've been casting this for 35 minutes. I didn't even know this was happening. But thanks again, guys, for coming on. It was a hell of a lot of fun to watch. I'm hoping that the people in the chat room enjoyed it as well. It was a good match. Thanks again, guys, for coming on, and hopefully we'll see. I know we'll see DA in in season 1. Black Widow Company. Hopefully we'll see you soon as well.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, it was really fun. Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks, guys.
Fantastic
Thanks,
job
folks.
to both of your crews.
Thanks again, chat room. You have been entertaining tonight, to say the least. Obviously, it looks like Deringer's giving out some dog tags, so
Yeah, I noticed.
Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, hopefully next match we'll have some of our stuff back in place, some of our assets and our production crew, but we'll see what happens. Thanks again. I'll see you guys later. Take care.
Yeah. See ya.